in that Kestrel, which is gray.
I guess we'll try it again.
It's just too complicated.
There we go.
So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left.
We win.
No longer double your turn.
There it goes.
A lot of stupid strategery.
All right. So after some craziness, we are live. We have with us tonight as your commentators, we have in the upper left Chandler from On the Origins of Battle Mech podcast.
Upper left. Oh, yes, I'm here. Hi.
I got a metal plate with Ed on it, representing Senior Metal Ed.
Evening all.
And we have our very own Andrew, the Mental Crawl from the Wolfnet Radio podcast.
Good evening, world.
So technically, we were on time, but I just couldn't figure out the stream settings. So I want to put that out there. We were on time.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. So we have Matt and Tommy going at it.
Oh my.
We're playing Capture the Flag. We are 1 minute and 12. That's not right. Let's redo that. Oh, that's because it was only a.
And now we're even again.
I'm pretty sure they've been playing for a while, so let's go 4,200. Start. Yeah, that looks about right.
Yeah, so
a minute 10 left. What?
An hour, 10 minutes.
It's gonna update.
Oh yeah, you Chandler,
there
you
it
should
goes.
be
Yeah.
watching. You should be watching the Discord one.
Well, I can't see the people's comments on the Discord.
Oh yes, you cannot do that. Unfortunately, you cannot.
Wait.
So let's see if my telestrator is working, shall we? So, just a little brief rundown. Let's move over to 3-man so you guys can see the rules. It's working. Look at there. These are, and there's another one right over here, which looks like a little snowman. These are the center objectives, where each player needs to run up, overlap at least a portion of this base, uncontested, which means he has to fall short. And there will be an objective right here that goes to that person during the end phase, and then he runs all the way back to his base right over here.
You should have them get dice out for.
And then he scores a point. First player to 4 points wins.
How you doing, Madden?
Oh man, I love this. This is gonna be great.
Madden
What?
NFL over here.
Someone take his pencil away.
Yeah.
Oop, not that one. I didn't want that shot.
What's wrong with that shot?
Because you can't see all three of them.
Time
Oh.
for Coach to crow us straight.
And now my telestrator's gone.
Yep,
Oh, that's because it's
you
not
ain't-
on here. We'll fix that. We'll fix
I
that.
like the Battle
real-
Cobra choice. It's a good choice.
Add whiteboard. Regular whiteboard, please. There we go. Now let's try it. There we go. These are the center objectives. This is each player's home base. And I'll let you guys discuss the lists as I try to figure out how to do armor and structure. So,
Yeah, I gotta say, when I first saw Tommy's list, I was a little surprised. It didn't. I think my first remark was that doesn't look like a capture the flag list.
Yep, that's exactly
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah,
Can
geez.
confirm.
As fast as they're the two Hellions, right? At 18 inches.
I mean, they're pretty freaking fast.
It is, but he's counting on 2 units for flags, right? So
I mean,
I
he's got the two Hellions, but the Battle Cobra is going 12, and then the linebacker's also going 12. So it's not like they're slouches either.
I think Tommy's strategy is going to be a little bit more of elimination than it is being all over the flags immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right.
They can't take the flags home if they're dead.
And if you take a look at what Matt's running with his list, he's got a lot of smaller stuff. So
Yeah.
Tommy's objective right out of the gate will be to eliminate as much as the little stuff as he possibly can while he's making his move to the flag.
Yeah, especially the 2 bandits.
Yeah, if you look at it, Tommy's list is throwing 23 damage at medium. Matt's is throwing 12, 14. So, yeah, Tommy's definitely going for a murder them off the field, and they can't stop me from pulling the flags.
Yeah, something like you need 2 inches, so I'm not going to do that just because I don't want to lose.
So on a
What has he
Somewhere-
got? Ryokin, Kestrel, 2 bandits, and
a bunch of
Medics.
infantry.
medics and a bunch of infantry. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't think you moved
Yeah,
Uh,
five initiative sinks.
on your movement unit. I thought you moved 2 inches on your.
Yeah, something I haven't had a chance to talk with the boys yet, but wanted to see about how they felt about doing front loading of unequaled number of units. We've been doing that with my play group, and people seem to be really, really enjoying that.
They can't move after they dismount.
Makes it easier to figure this stuff out. So
It does. Yeah, I figured out that I've been unintentionally doing it from time to time with getting confused with how many units are left on the table, and I'll say, okay, well, you get the last move, right? So you must have 1 left to move at last. But no, if you think about it, by the book, it's supposed to be, you get the last pairing or grouping.
I'll still keep them inside. That was my original intent, and I'll stick with it. I don't want to change that.
no, so Tommy's got the Parahellions at 18. The Battle Cobra and Linebacker D are moving at 12. My guess is the Coronas will be dropped off at the flags just to contest. Matt is running Ryokin for some firepower, and then everything else is really about speed and contesting. So it'll be this will be a fairly interesting game to see how this plays out.
Yeah. I was really impressed by how well the Hellions did last week.
My money is on Tommy right now, just because I don't believe Matt will be able to throw enough damage to hang in this.
Or absorb enough damage.
Yeah, either way, yeah. But the luck of the die can do anything.
Yeah. And while he does have a lot of damage output, he doesn't have a lot of spread out damage output, Tommy. So the masses of light units might work out in his favor if Tommy has a real bad
If he has a
shooting
bad
phase.
round or two, yeah.
Yeah, if he just
round or
can't kill him, like they might not be able to kill him, but if he can't kill them either,
right? And the bandits are no joke. They're gonna take some work to get taken care of.
yeah, the 3 TMM helps a lot.
Well, I'm not even worried about TMM. A bandit is a really strong tank. So what is it, 6'3"?
Yep.
5'3"?
Yeah. 6-3 for the bandits.
40 PV apiece.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive.
It's a
They
third,
are expensive.
third of his list right there.
H and C.
Yeah, the H does 330 and then the C does 330.
Right? Not much different than the Hellions then. Maybe I gotta retract my statement. Forgot the clan bandits actually throw some damage.
The thing is, those Hellions also can jump though, so like those buildings aren't nearly as much of an issue.
Hellions don't jump.
Nope.
But they did.
Mario, you are still with us. recommend B and C. Oh, good choices.
Hiding out in the back of your brain like a little proto mech pilot.
Nice. That was such a good story.
Can't tell you how nice this is to have like the 200s already out like this.
Yeah. Sorry, we've been so bashful.
So, what are your guys' opinions on that new little bit of errata that got posted for Alpha Strike?
Well, we're gonna have to change my Vegas list, that's for sure.
I have not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Mechanized battle armor. After the first paragraph, add a transport carrying mechanized battle armor may not use jump, Ouija, VTOL, submersible, or aerospace thrust movement. So no more jumping with BA attached.
No more jumping with BA attached. No more X-meching onto VTOLs.
Well, X-meching onto VTOLs was should have never been a thing anyway.
Yeah, now it's just explicitly not a thing.
I mean, I know that there was conversation around it, but
yeah.
So a mech cannot jump with battle armor attached.
Yes, whether it's mech or X-mech.
That's I don't know. To me, that doesn't feel like it's that big of a thing.
Yeah.
A lot of us immediately started looking for books. Hey, are there any books where Omnis are jumping around with battle armor attached?
But are they worth shooting at? I think your field might
Yeah, and I couldn't think of any off the top of my head.
I want to say Test of Vengeance.
I don't even know what that book is.
That is the story of Jake Kabrinsky with the Ghost Bears when the Hell's Horses make their ill-fated attempt to drive a wedge into the Bear OZ, and then the wolves backstab them.
Is that errata posted in the 5.1 errata?
It's in the forum posts for that one, yeah.
Blood of Kerensky, book 3.
Bottom of page 4. Here, I'll toss a link in the Discord for you.
I was gonna say Blood of Kerensky, book 3. An entire Jade Falcon cluster crosses a river. Every one of them carrying, well, not every one of them, but many of them carrying elementals.
That band just kick on higher?
And they do so jumping.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
I think so.
That will put a nice hurt on Ion Sparrows and Hero Falcons.
Jade Phoenixes.
Jade Phoenix, yeah, and Jade Phoenix. Omnimex that
No more ablative wounds for them.
You pasted C, and for me, being a TO, it's really hard to say what we are and what we aren't doing if it doesn't make it to the errata page off of.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's
looking
usually,
at it,
that's usually where I call that the latest errata off of the download section of battletech.com.
No, and that makes complete sense.
Yeah,
that's where you should be cutting it, to be completely honest. Like, if you weren't cutting it there, like, what the hell?
yeah. Cut
like,
it there.
not everyone looks on the forum. Like, even after playing this for how long and being heavily involved in the community, like, people will be like, "Hey, something got announced," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't see it anywhere." And they're like, "Oh, it's on the forum." I'm like, "Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the one place I never check."
Yeah, the thing there is what rules in errata you're using should be the same at the start of the tournament as it is at the end of the tournament, as in you're not going to add anything in the middle.
Yeah.
So as long as everybody knows up front. So it's a question for the LVO tournament then. Are you going to allow jumping with battle armor or not?
Depends on whether it makes it into the errata.
So you are relying on the PDF regardless.
Absolutely. Yes. That is the only way that I can keep everything straight and ensure that everyone is playing from the same set of rules. I cannot keep up with the forum
No, yeah, and you shouldn't
and
have
just
to.
tell people, oh, by the way, when we start, because for instance, Ed, your list, right?
Yeah.
if you showed up to a tournament and I said, oh, by the way, this thing that was posted 2 days ago in the forum is in effect.
Yeah, that's just bad feelings.
You'd flip tables, right? And rightfully so. I would expect you to. So that is why whenever I run tournaments, the errata that is on whatever the current errata is as far as the PDF goes, those are the rules that we run with.
And to be completely honest, those should be by both you guys, the community, and CGL. Those should be considered the only official errata, in my opinion. Like the forum's great to see what's coming down the pipeline. Like, let's say they release the next PDF, the 5.2, next Thursday. Let's say it gives them a week, whatever. For some reason they release it. Like, then if that's in there, then yes, it is a formal errata then.
Yeah,
right.
But like,
I mean, tournament play is different from home play. Like that makes perfect sense for tournaments, but like home games, if I saw something like that, choose to use it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Again, what for us or for me when I go to a tournament, it's what we have always talked about is ensuring that we are all playing from the same set of rules and we all have that understanding of where that line in the sand exists. So
yeah.
Yeah, and Ed, the bad news is LVO's far enough out that that will probably end up in the errata before we get there.
That's okay. To be fair, I had Marauders planning on riding Karnovs, but that was mostly because that's what I had painted in time. So now I have time to
see, and that is not legal now. If you look at a lot of that stuff gets defined in the first couple of pages when it goes through terms.
See, you say that, but Kestrel deliberately said before that was posted that VTOLs are not ground units.
Yeah,
like VTOLs are considered ground units. So that therefore,
they
without
are considered
that,
ground units
because they're not using thrust. They're not aerospace, which logically makes sense.
But they were defined as airborne, and that's where, and that's how I drew the distinction was while they are a combat vehicle, they are not a ground unit. They are an airborne unit defined in those terms. So we have never, in all of our tournaments, XMech has never been able to be on a vehicle.
Yeah, so I think his point was, this is not what was intended, although it can be read this way.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that is a lot of the work that's happening right now is just clearing, clarifying, and making things abundantly clear, or more clear than what it is now. So,
and Kestrel mentioned also at the time that they were going through and routing through the transport section in general. So there's not even any guarantee that errata section that says you just can't mechanize and jump at the same time will survive that rewrite. You know, it might get tweaked and changed over time.
Well, I think it's safe, Ed, that we can let known that we are, Ed and I are also on a Discord with Kestrel that we talk about a lot of things around the rules and where clear.
Are you sure you're not violating an NDA or something?
I have not given out any information other than we have spoken.
You are in discussions with them.
And it's not even discussions. He just bounces stuff off and we go, oh, okay.
Words are used. Words are used. If I can interrupt this rules debate, it looks like Matt is all over those flags like a thirsty mech warrior all over a can of delicious hot dog cider.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we got some battlefield
tell you
support
what.
coming out.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the only way to
Tommy.
deal with those light units. Is you got to smack them with some artillery,
10. Oh, shit.
as they deserve.
Oh, my.
Everything in the middle.
that's on the Hellions too, isn't it?
Let's see.
That looks like some.
The Kestrels are still alive.
Oh, he's smacking it right on top of those. Nice.
Let's take 2.
Oh, it's Tommy throwing the strike
Mhm.
at the Kestrels. Oh God,
Yeah,
no.
that's right.
Don't care about
the
your
Kest-
TMM4 now.
Yeah.
Are the Kestrels landed?
Yeah, I think so. He had to be able to drop those infantry off somehow.
Well, if they're jumped, they do.
The Magistracy aren't jumped.
I don't think
Elemental
he's zip.
are.
True.
Yeah.
Can the
Yeah.
And
Kestrel...
paratroopers you can dump out too
So if
without landing.
if
Those
they're
don't
jump,
look like elementals, but I can't quite tell from here.
if
How
they're
big?
jump, they can disembark in base to base with the transport, like in front of it, like they did there. But if they're zip lining or paratroop, they have to land on the flight path, which would be behind it.
Behind. Yep.
So that's minus
How
2.
big
Let's see,
and
it's a
how much
Kestrel SRM
damage?
and a Kestrel.
It was
How
a
big?
2. 2 points.
Yeah,
2
it's a
points
sniper artillery hit.
In a. It looks like it was more than a sniper because sniper is only 1 point. If I can
No,
see that
a
card,
sniper is sniper artillery is 2 points.
okay.
Thumper is a 1 point. Sniper is the same thing as our arrow 4. Ah, see, yeah, those were the field medics. Yeah,
9 for crit. Weapon hit.
I was starting to dig through the mole to see
Doesn't have.
what he could have possibly put in those Kestrels, and I was.
Okay. And then,
It was probably just those.
7 plus 2 is 9. 9 is.
Does Matt also have battlefield support, or is it just Tommy?
They would both have battlefield support.
No, so they would have equal.
Yeah, finish it off.
There we go. Matt just threw something down.
Why?
Which
Why
direction
just?
going?
Why just wounded me?
I'm not liking this idea of battlefield support. My fire moths are very vulnerable.
What was that, Brute? Sorry.
So I'm not liking this idea of battlefield support. It leaves my light mechs and infantry very vulnerable.
Hey, you just like fire
They
moths.
were flopping there for
I
a
do.
minute, now they're
I like
jumping
them a
on
lot.
it.
Fire moths deserve to die.
You see
Now,
that?
but at the same time, Mario, you got to remember though that a sniper hit is you need to roll an 8, and a thumper you need to roll a 7.
Yeah, I know, that's-
So I mean, it's not guaranteed hits by any
All
stretch.
good, we got one left.
Yeah,
I still have one left.
but yeah, it adds an element there that
So, artillery is
Better be
effective
careful.
against small targets. I like how you can hit with the artillery, but you can't hit.
7s and 8s to hit fire moths is usually pretty good.
Stick with the long guns, Tom. I'll stick with the long
I mean, when I
guns.
nuked a fire moth off the board
Yeah, you're banned.
this last weekend, I think I had 8.
Over here? Yeah. The skill 3 guy?
If I remember correctly. But that also was a skill 2 flashman, so like
Yeah.
if it didn't kill the, the fire moth, there was bigger issues at hand.
Fast stuff has to be skittish in this game about going
Yeah.
on target. because
So when you're using battlefield support, do you have to have line of sight in order to utilize it?
really having any-
Like
No.
your artillery? So you can just place a artillery marker anywhere you wish?
correct. It is off-board artillery.
But now it's like,
Ah,
don't go to the center. Well,
that's
don't go to the
scary.
center much.
have to look into this more.
I mean, what's the target number on the current sniper artillery offboard that
I don't know. Sixes to hit your bandito.
I believe you just said
Wolfnet
8.
has?
Holy balls.
Give me a minute.
Because that'll kill a fire moth by itself as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're minus 6 inches now.
It's an 8. It's the same thing.
Come on, bandit armor.
Just instead of paying BSP, you're paying PV.
Shut up. 6 of them hit. That's all the armor. How much structure you get? 3. The Coronas
Maybe I should take some of those.
We got really close to that.
We're zooming in, but you need to know.
No, I meant from what our offboard was to what battlefield support turned out to be.
Uh-oh, Coach. Coach, we need you to moderate. Coach, moderate the chat.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Coach.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have a board wipe here, boys.
Coach.
He's not.
Banhammer it, Coach.
He's not fucking listening. Give me a minute.
I can report unwanted commercial content or spam. Yes.
No, if you click pornography, it disappears right away.
It would have gone the other way. Yes. So now the cards.
Oof.
I like how we can
Alright.
hear the
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, you need to get it back on the stream here a minute. We got a problem.
don't worry. We fixed it.
Give you an example.
We reported them multiple times. I think it's gone.
speaking of which,
Hi, gents.
looks like Matt's army's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also
you,
Matt's gone.
He's got 1 bandit and 3 infantry left. Oh, and the Stormcrow.
Aaron, we might want to moderate the chat. We got
We had a
porned.
scammer.
Yeah, and
We got
Uh-oh.
porned.
No, we didn't get porn, but we got someone scamming. Yeah, I think. I don't know if anyone can still see it. I know Ed and I
It's up on-
reported them.
It's up on my screen yet.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Oh, it still is.
I'm trying to remove it.
Triple X 69 on. Boom.
Yes. The most
Oh.
classic of names.
The classic.
They must be from
Classy.
Canopus.
It's perfect for LVO.
Hide
we
user.
we had a pleasure circus enter the chat.
This user's messages will
It's
be
all
hidden.
off.
Okay.
I like it.
So, Coach, can you tell us what wiped Matt off there? We saw some artillery hitting, but
Yep.
where did the Kestrels went from the artillery? But
So
What bandit?
his field medic, he fired 2 thumpers, thumper battlefield support cards at his Kestrels and his field medics in the center. And then his Hellion B shot at the bandit on the other side of this building.
Gotcha.
This bandit right here.
Hover is +1. That's a 9 -2 +1 or -2.
So
Gotcha. Yeah.
that bad boy is gone.
Yeah, on that one. That's the.
well, I'm eating my shirt here that's saying Tommy's list didn't look like a capture the flag list.
Look, man.
He got some
It-
lucky rolls on his thumpers. He needed 7s. He rolled a 10 and a 9, I think.
Can those scatter?
Yes.
Or do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
hmm
So if you miss, they scatter?
If
Yep.
you miss, they scatter. You roll 1 dice
Okay.
for
Correction.
Yep. And then D6 times 3 inches, I think.
They operate just like a normal artillery at that point.
I like how the chat took the scammer as a we had an XX69.online scammer trying to as Rotted Moonweasel, which is also an awesome name. He says, let's just hear them out. Maybe they're advertising a Magistry Pleasure Cruise. Which is weird because I don't know how I can just I'll report it too. Unwanted,
I reported it as well.
Sexual explicit material, unwanted. Oh, I can only pick one.
I know, right?
Boo.
Boo, hiss, boo.
I mean, he was nailing at least 2 or 3. Oh, I can put him in a timeout.
Well, you know you've hit it big time when you get porn scammers on your stream.
Yeah, I guess we hit it big time since we had a porn scammer on our live stream, guys. Oh, or was it by accident?
Dun dun dun.
It was probably a member of the regiment.
That wouldn't be
I
surprising.
can I can think of one
Or
person.
3. All 3 would hit. Slip again.
One person. He hangs out in the specific channel.
Oh yes, my co-host is linked minds with me as well. I was thinking of the same person.
So this will be a good conversation you guys pick up with the battlefield support cards, basically wiping out 4 of his units. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It definitely has me concerned since I like to use fast transports and infantry, so it would be a big worry for me in the future.
Hey, Coach, on the Discord, we're missing like a fifth of the screen, or is it just me?
No, it's missing on my end too.
On the
Left, we don't have the left-hand side.
We can't see Tommy's tattoos.
well, that's weird.
It's not the camera that's messed up. It's the stream on Discord for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not interacting nicely with.
So let's
Shows up fine for me.
We can wheel back though.
Let's
Let's talk about battlefield support. And Tommy just dropped 2 thumpers, which are 1 point apiece, and took out a few things. A thumper, you need to roll a 7 to hit, if I'm not mistaken. Thumper is a 7 for 1 damage and a 2-inch AoE. And Aaron, you still with us?
Yep.
How many units did was Tommy able to eliminate from 2 points of from 2 different shots?
Yeah, he put 4 points of damage on both Kestrels and the field medics. The field medics were gone in one shot because they're only an armored structure.
It wasn't a thumper. It was It was snipers. Thumpers.
Oh, yeah. No, you still have your thumper, right?
Yeah.
He put a thumper and a sniper in it, so it did exactly 3 points of damage.
3 points total. Okay.
Because a thumper is 1 point.
How many battlefield support are you guys playing with?
We play with a maximum of 7 points. Rule of 2: you cannot use 2 of the same card. He's got it. If you look on the underneath their names is where their battlefield support, what they are using and how many points each card's worth.
Okay.
Can you see my screen again?
It's still cut off for Tommy's list, but not a big deal.
Well, why is that?
No, hey, dude, don't worry about it. It's something we can work with. But Mario, you have some issue with Battlefield support.
He sees the. Oh, that fixed it.
That fixed it. Whatever
I
you
do
did there,
see.
How about we do that?
that's better. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Just leave it. Yeah.
Don't touch it anymore.
I'm not touching anything. Don't worry. Not touching it.
No touch.
No touchy.
Mario, can you explain why you don't want your TMM4 Fire Moth to die in one shot?
It does take some of the fun out of the game. But,
Because he doesn't like me to have joy in my life watching fire moths die.
well, actually, it's not much of a secret that I do like to utilize a lot of combat vehicles and infantry, and the occasional fire moth gets tossed in there. And frankly, all of my units are very weak to artillery. The scattered damage can cause a lot of additional motive rolls, and in some cases, just outright kill the units.
Yeah, it certainly changes a lot of the meta.
It does, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, and it would force me to have a more rounded force yet again.
And that's exactly where I was going to go as well. As you want to spam the table with flatbed trucks and field medics. Dropping one of those on something, you can quickly sort that out. So
that is true.
Yeah. And you do have to be careful with it because you only get to use it once per game.
Right. That is very true too. So, in a certain respect, while yes, it does eliminate things, at the same time, it forces players to reconsider if you want to spam the table, okay. But just know that now players have the opportunity to counter that.
That's true. I mean, but in the case, well, if you have a case where you're not spamming the table too, though you're still very vulnerable.
Yeah, especially if you take like you take like a sniper shot and they end up doing pretty much what Matt did and had a relatively light vehicle with a very light infantry in it, and it zip up to the objective. If you have a sniper artillery shot, you could just wipe it off the board. Even if it isn't like the majority of their list, that's just negating part of that list without it essentially being able to do its job. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but also isn't necessarily a good thing.
Again, what makes the cards kind of interesting is you don't need that line of sight. So, where you can already have artillery in your lists with snipers and Arrow 4 and all that, generally need a tag and a spotter to do anything useful with it.
I almost wonder.
Do you think the 2 hit numbers are too low?
On the battlefield support?
Like a thumper should be, an 8, and maybe the sniper should be a 9.
Well, I mean, to get a 7 on the field, you usually need to have a skill 2 artillery piece. So,
well, you need to have a skill 2 artillery piece and a tag unit, and not have move,
and be in position,
or have line of sight on what you're shooting at.
Right.
So, I mean, you're talking about an elite artillery piece, even if it does only 1 damage.
You're talking a lot of player skill there to set that up, even though it's reusable. Like the battlefield cards aren't.
Well, people know we play Thursday night, so but
Has there been any discussion on incentive to not use them? Like, is there a bonus to everyone's issued battlefield support, but if I decide not to use them, do I get anything for not using them?
No.
A pat on the back.
Now, right now, the playtesting is happening because with the Alpha Strike box set, just the cards that are available in the Alpha Strike box set. We're still waiting for the reprint of Battlefield Support deck. Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the new printing was supposed to include Alpha Strike stats in the Battlefield Support deck card, right?
I don't think it was. I think they reprinted the deck to add the heavy strikes that were missing, but I don't think that reprint of it was had Alpha Strike stats.
Okay.
No, because I think it was Ray at Gen Con crack open one of the packs. I said, "Hey, do you guys add the missing cards?" He said, "I don't know." He whipped out a pack, ripped it open, and nope. Darn it.
That's kind of a kick in the balls.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to release a pack with Alpha Strike stats or not.
Are they going to have 2 different Battlefield Support decks then? That seems a little excessive.
You declare.
Or I guess you can just use the Battlefield Support card and have to reference the table in the book, I guess.
Yeah.
I could, but then I can't fire.
Something else I was thinking about, Andrew, with your artillery pieces, and you said earlier that because they're off-board artillery, you don't have to have line of sight. I mean, there's no place you can hide on the board from a skill or from an elite artillery piece either. Is that correct? Like if I were to hide a unit behind a building and nobody has sight on it at all, you could still perfectly place the artillery piece directly on my unit.
I'm going to pull the rules up here just a minute and read through that again so that I'm not saying something stupid.
Okay.
More stupid than what I maybe already have said.
No, I'm just checking. I wanted to see, because it almost feels like to me you would have to have some form of line of sight, because that's how you can't just lob an Arrow 4 missile up in the air and hope it lands behind the enemy lines on what you're looking at, because you can't see it. So that's why on the board artillery works that way. Just wondered if there's any provisions for that in the off board.
The real question is, when can I take sniper artillery cannons or long tom cannons.
Long toms will probably never be included in our game set because it covers too much.
Not long toms, long
No.
tom cannons.
Cannons.
It's a different template size.
It's
Yep.
an artillery piece that works just like the regular weapon systems.
All three of them hit, and there's a
What you drawing there, Coach?
Those didn't hit.
3,
I sincerely hope we never put cannons in.
2. I was thinking
'Cause you
three.
hate
I
my
said
fun.
3 in my head.
No, that's just when you have a Rommel with a cannon on it and it can hit something from around the corner. And, you know, it's medium range, so that artillery piece has a the skill plus range of 2. That's and a point of impact, so you're looking at 5s and 6s at times to hit at best.
Mario,
be-
you will not like this in the book. Page 56. Battlefield support, artillery support. Artillery targets a point of impact rather than a unit. Artillery does not need LOS to target a point of impact. Your re-impact template is placed at the final POE or POI to determine which units are damaged by the artillery.
Okay.
5, 6.
I just think that's kind of crazy. You can hit a target, a specific target, anywhere you want that you cannot see. So it seems a bit overpowered, but I will work with it.
Is it mobile minus? Yeah. Sorry.
Looks like Tommy's making his move and clearing out the rest of Matt's army here.
Yeah,
The scatter is 1d6 times 2.
nice.
Yes, well, same as regular artillery. So yeah.
Yep.
But I will shoot back.
That's slightly better than having a
The,
2d6
Collier's gonna fire at your- is it
scatter.
infantry or BA?
Well, it's exactly the same actually.
And how many pieces of
Technically.
artillery can you take for 7? Is it up
You
to-
could get 3. 2 thumpers and a sniper.
So a grand total of 4 extra damage. So, you know, round 1, if you were an aggressive player, you could lay an
Yeah.
additional 4 damage down right off the bat. Just kind of supercharge yourself for a turn.
Well, I mean, look exactly what Tommy did.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tactic. It's an interesting tactical option. I haven't had the opportunity to play it, so I don't want to be like right off the bat, this is terrible. I hate it. I think it's something to certainly try. But it would definitely force me to rethink a lot of things I do. So I mean, now I have to be concerned that some of my tanks could be crippled before they could even come into line of sight with anybody.
Cobra's gonna fire at your Ryokan.
So that would be painful.
5, 6s.
2 years left.
Yeah. That is a
What is this? Turn 2. 4. Turn 6.
Right, one of my worst experiences was playing my daughter, and she she rolled an 11 or she hit my Heimdall for 1 damage and rolled an 11 for motive, and it was crippled.
ooh.
Yeah. Or no, she rolled 12. It was immobilized. So first turn, you're not going anywhere.
3, 4, 5. That's a miss. 2 of them hit. Okay.
Is that the elementals attacking there?
Yep.
On the Ryokan? Yep.
Looks like it.
What is that mech in the on the right hand side there?
Looks like a battle.
It's a battle cobra. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Didn't recognize.
it's the old sculpt with the really wide arms, and it's like, come at me, bro.
He went with the metal one for some reason. So
It looked like an old longbow or something.
I know, right?
Takes 3 to kill it.
That reminds me, I should finish painting mine for my LVO list.
is that Matt gonna play his battlefield support here?
Yep. 7.
We'll see.
1, 2, 3. No, 2. Sorry.
Probably should have played it turn 1, but I don't know if it would have helped.
Yeah. The problem with using the battlefield support against jeez, what am I thinking here? Against Tommy's list is that none of his units are especially vulnerable to it. Like the Coronas are,
Yeah.
but unless you want to put all of your units into it, or all your BSPs into it, you're not going to kill a Corona with it.
That is true. And the light mechs are still, I believe,
Yeah,
4
4 armor,
armor.
2 structure. Like
Yeah, so
they're not slouches.
No, it would be a weapon. It would be like a I don't know. Do you have to declare up front when you're using them, or can you just pick any time you want during the firing phase?
Any
It is-
time in the
it-
combat phase.
Okay. Well, I
I
guess
thought it
if
had to be. I thought it had to be declared at the beginning.
okay, well, I'm not sure. As I say, I could see where I did. I've got 2 points of structure left on this mech I'm shooting at. Maybe drop an artillery piece on it, and maybe you get lucky, or just at least crit the heck out of it. But if it has to be used up front, that could be a little bit different. I don't know. I don't have any of the new stuff, so I don't have the.
You didn't get an Alpha Strike box set at Gen Con?
No,
Oh, that's
sir, I
right,
did not.
You didn't go. You didn't go. That's right. My bad. I didn't mean to poke you there.
No, it's
There.
okay. No, I broke in like I did usually. They just were out.
I didn't get anything. I say that with my fancy Republic of the Sphere dice next to me from Gideon.
I had a great time at Gen Con. I have no regrets.
Not even one letter.
It does say during combat phase.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
trying
I
to
couldn't
sort that
find
through.
anything more specific.
Looking at the
Did they take damage?
battlefield support deck, because I could have swore it was that you both chose at the beginning of the combat phase. You revealed your cards, and it might be that they play different between classic and Alpha Strike.
That would make more sense for the classic side of things, since it's much less I go, you go than Alpha Strike is.
Yep. So on the battlefield support deck, this is why I got confused. If a player wishes to use one or more support types, they must declare their use during the attack declaration portion of the weapon attack phase of the turn they will be used. The player reveals their selection and use that support type if they purchased multiple instances. The same support type they do not need. The controlling player declares the target hex. Attack. So that's why I thought it had to be at the beginning of the combat phase. But it is, according to what the little card says, anytime during the combat phase. So, Ed, you are correct. My bad.
Yeah. Well, if you do take the minefield support, which I think you guys can't do in the tests you're doing currently.
The tests we're doing right now are just the Alpha Strike box set cards, and the unfortunate thing is the minefield is template.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now,
Oh yeah,
I'm
6-inch
not.
template. Yeah.
I'm not overly. I mean, when you start looking at minefields and what it takes for them to actually go off, right? You go into a density 1 minefield, I think you still need to roll 9 for it to go off.
For Alpha Strike, if you're a light, you need a 9. Medium, you need an 8. Heavy, you need a 7.
Okay. So, I don't know.
And a light density minefield's half a point, while a heavy is 4.
And the problem though becomes is if you allow that, then you gotta get into the whole. Well, why aren't you allowing? And
They're both damaged.
I just don't want to.
It is a symptom of the map size choices.
A 6-inch template is a very large area on the maps that we're. Especially when you can land a minefield over the top of a bunker, right?
Yeah.
Recently contested her own turn.
I think Matt's in trouble. Staring at a linebacker D. That's not good.
Yeah.
The rest of mine. Did I move these guys?
That
No, you did not.
Oh, never mind. There goes the Ray. Oh no, the Raven's going over to stare at the linebacker. I see. And there goes the linebacker.
Base to base. I haven't moved the
He hasn't
battle
moved
cobra.
God, I still don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with my
Yeah,
linebacker.
so I take it back.
I'm loving mine right now.
Yeah, they're particularly nasty Max. After watching the beating that coaches took at Gen Con, I was thoroughly impressed, and I started looking into them a little deeper, and they are good pieces of equipment.
Yeah, they're not available to any of the factions I'm currently planning on building,
20 minutes.
except for maybe the Ravens. But they're so far down the road that it's like, do I need to really be planning that?
Yeah, 'cause you're going base to base. Okay, here you go.
I just completed. I went through the old books and pulled out
I lost. I'll go first.
Grey Death Legion, Fox's Teeth, Kellhounds, Cranston Snords Irregulars, Highlanders, Wilson Hussars, Waco Rangers, Iridani Light Horse, Rolling Thunder, and Swords and Sabers. I'm in the process of trying to put all of the mechs together to have those companies, and then then I'll turn around and round those all out.
5, 6.
50 armies.
Yeah.
1, 2. That is a cock die.
That is the craziest cock die I've ever. Hold on.
How the hell does he do that?
Hold on.
What kind of magic is he pulling on that?
That's freestanding. There's nothing touching that other die.
You guys got to see.
You know, this idea of Aaron not being on
What?
the train sucks.
You landed
Yeah.
a die on the corner? That's amazing.
That
Yeah.
happens occasionally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a 6 on that corner.
Move the angle
That's
so
awesome.
It's like one of Tommy's dent-inducing dice.
Yeah.
Fucking cappies.
That is crazy.
Might want to find some salt water and put that die in there just to double check.
Oh my goodness.
Is that a Kickstarter dice?
Did you get 4?
No.
No, I think it was an aluminum one. I think that was it might have been one of his Capellan dice. He likes Capellans all of a sudden.
Nope. Because if I have OP right, or no op right now, I only get 1 point. So,
Oh, Tommy's having to talk about no op. Worry about it.
point values. I could.
No op?
So the no op protocol happens when you table your opponent.
Can I shoot on my own units?
When you table your opponent,
no,
the
you
game
cannot.
ends.
Can I
You get
use my
one
units,
additional
stab my
objective,
units under the foot,
and
or 5,
you
6
count up
base
margin.
to
Game is over. You get one
Yeah.
additional objective and count up margin of failure and turn your slip
here we
in.
go. Physical attack from the
So,
back over. 4.
Now he's debating on, do I leave the Ryokan alive or do I leave the Elementals alive so he can try and get a few more objectives before the game's over.
Okay.
I think he's stomping the elementals. Ugh.
Yeah. Those are not the ones I would have left alive.
No, you didn't do physical
What's the
attack.
size on that Cobra? 2?
On a
Yeah.
Two.
bomber?
On battle armor.
So elementals have.
They should be
2-2.
That's dead
they're
on.
squad 5, so they're 2-2.
Is it dead now?
Yeah, the
It's
stats on the screen say 0.
I had 2 left.
Yeah. What were you tracking? What were you
Dead
tracking damage
and
on
then
the other
dead.
BA? The other BA.
But they're still there.
was dead. 'Cause I had 5
Maybe Tommy's just calling it now.
No,
Or,
I was
Coach, sorry.
You had 2 left. In the,
Well, the Ryokan's still
and
alive.
it took a
So
kick to the face, didn't it?
according to the stats.
Okay, they're dead? Yeah. Alright.
I wasn't tracking.
No.
Oh no, you just did 2
I
damage.
just did 2 damage.
Oh.
They're alive.
That's all. Yeah, don't
Stop messing with me.
don't listen to me. I don't know.
There we go.
So
Coach
they are
Eric.
alive. Okay.
Um,
They live.
we'll do the anti-mech.
They are resurrected.
So,
Vulcan lives.
So you do your skill for 5, 6. No, you don't.
Oh,
you don't
he's
count
putting
the
it. It's
movement.
in for posterity.
Fine.
Aaron was wrong.
Screenshot that right there. Oh, I deleted it.
Okay, so you take what? 2 damage? I take and a crit. The short range damage. 2.
You could always go back and screenshot it from the this live stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too much work.
Too much.
Ed,
Yeah,
I've met
no.
you. That's
Hell,
not.
if you go over to the stream, you can probably catch it still.
It just it just went by
It
on the stream.
just went by. That's awesome.
Oh, you're not wrong.
9, 11. Suck my balls. 5, 11.
Oh my god.
Weapon
This
hits.
fool can
Mario,
live.
get off the stream.
So that was an anti-mech attack on the Battle Cobra. Succeeded, and he got a 9 and a 5 for the crits.
Dope.
He would like to request that Mario get off the stream.
Oh,
Nice. Don't go blaming Mario for your own bad luck.
No, I'm a special level of bad luck.
Nah,
Ben,
I refuse to believe that.
Ben Kleinfelter hung out with me one time at Gen Con, and his dice rolls have never been the same.
I don't know.
4, 5, 6, 7.
After playing tabletop games for like 4 to 5 years now, or not 4 to 5 years. 2018, 2014, for 8 years now. Like the whole bad juju thing's just BS.
So that was a rear.
That's just people not wanting to just deal with it.
That was a rear shot from the Ryokan to the Ice Hellion, and it is gone.
Hellion. There is no Ice Hellion.
Hellion, sorry. There is no such thing as an Ice Hellion mech.
Yes, thank you for correcting them. I last week, every time I just wanted to correct you guys. I was like, nah, I'm not going to. It's not worth it. They won't hear me anyway.
That was the Ice Hellion C.
Hellion C.
So
Hellion,
just
damn
countered
it.
up. I just countered up.
Dang
We've
it,
got 12.
Coach! How do you even know the word Ice Hellion? It's
I
like they
don't
come up in the
know.
lore like twice.
I don't know. I'm a bad person.
Because what Tommy was calling it, so that got stuck in his brain. And
How does Tommy know what the Ice Hellions are?
The Falcons do
even
have
worse.
access to it.
Yeah, because he doesn't know any lore.
No.
What's lower?
Exactly.
Oh, you couldn't make it? Oh, shit.
You guys have 13 minutes left in the round. For
So
those of you who are watching,
did Tommy leave the Ryokan alive, or did he?
It's like 20.
no,
Did he
Ryokan's,
table him?
Ryokan's, the battle armor is the only thing left.
All right.
These guys are the only ones left.
That was the correct move.
He,
It's too dangerous to
he
let
does.
live.
He does not want to get the
Yep.
no op.
Can you explain that, Coach? He
No
gets more
op.
points if he
the-
doesn't?
Yes, the no opposition rule is a rule we put in place when some people are just out to table the other people, and we went round and round and round, and we decided that if you table your opponent, you are awarded 1 objective point, but cannot exceed 4 objective points, and you are awarded the full MOV, obviously, because you killed your opponent. But it has
Game ends.
the game ends. So you are no longer allowed to get any more points. So while destroying your opponent is a win in the standings, if you're in a tournament, you want to go for objectives because that's how you're ranked, is based on objectives. So if you just destroy your opponent, you'll get 1 objective and a full MOV, but someone who is actively trying to go for objectives will outrank you because they got the win and more objectives during the game. So it's a little
Makes sense.
it's a little deterrence to the just kill everything lists. And
No.
again, it's
you want to?
While I don't disagree with the concept, I know me as a player. I will not go out of my way to avoid no op. Like, if I'm just playing and I wipe the board with the opponent while not, like, deliberately trying to, I'm just gonna wipe the board. I don't care. Like
No,
if the
no,
game's over, the
dude.
game's over.
Dude,
You want to toy with their corpse.
the
right?
first time, the first time that actually came up was Xena. 2 years ago at Rumble on the River. I don't know who the hell she was playing, but I think it was like round 3, and I was so proud of her because she got to the point where she was about ready to throw dice to destroy the last piece of battle armor on the table, and before she threw it, she's like, "Hey, wait a minute! If I do that, the game's over, and I haven't scored enough points." So she let that battle armor live for like 3 rounds to score as many objectives as she could, and then wiped him off.
I believe the very first instance which actually was created that made us want to put that rule into effect was a friend of ours, Marv.
Yeah.
And I think it was at, I can't remember where it was at, but he was mad because he lost the tournament because he destroyed his opponent. Well, actually, we didn't have a rule in place for it then, so we went to the drawing board and really had to think it over. So,
Yay! I got a flag.
I mean, at the end of the day, the whole point is to go for the objectives, right? You want to play. We want people to play.
So Tommy did elect for the no-op. So,
okay.
As a good clan warrior does.
GG.
What did he end up with?
He ended up with 1 objective point.
I was not fired and
What?
Well, because nobody captured a flag.
The other Hellion didn't get back in time?
No, he sprinted and he couldn't. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah, you got 1.
Lucky.
I have to say, with the no-op thing, I've been in a position a couple of times. Let's see, I think it's been 2 different times where I had the enemy down to 1 unit, or my opponent down to 1 unit, and it was damaged. And I have to say that the Wolfnet rule number 1, don't be a dick. I was like, I don't feel right letting this 1 crippled unit kind of wander around on the field while I collect all the objectives.
Like a cat and a half-dead mouse.
Yes, exactly. It's like, well,
Yeah.
this mouse only has 1 leg, and its back is broken, so I could just do as I please, but I feel like that's a very unsportsmanlike kind of stunt there.
Yeah.
So I took illegal lists because I took 3 artillery pieces.
I don't want to be the guy that wins that way.
Oh, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I did.
So, whoops, sorry. Fun fact.
Oh, win by default.
Yep, sorry, that was pretty loud. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys just heard Tommy that he was playing with an illegal list.
So how many objective points is that?
Anybody figure out? Yeah. How would we score that?
Matt would get.
I would suppose Matt would get the win.
Would get all of it.
0 objectives.
But you guys supplied the cards.
Oh. No, I think it's a modified win.
It would be a modified win because it absolutely would be.
So what was illegal about Tommy's list?
He had 3 artillery pieces.
He had 3 artilleries. He had 3 artillery pieces. He disobeyed the 2 tubes rule. Rule 2. Interesting.
Oh.
Well, look at us learning things.
Strike?
Live stream.
Do you mean the 2 heavy strike cards he brought?
Well,
Tommy had 3.
Tommy has 2
thumpers and a sniper. I didn't know.
Oh,
well,
right.
I almost asked about that earlier because I wasn't sure if that counted since it was off-board artillery.
We are the rules. Yeah, the rules are still written as a rule of 2, both in cards you can have and the artillery does count as tubes. So you can't have 3. You can have a.
So you can only have 2 and 1.
Yes, correct. Well, is there a light bomb and a heavy bomb?
Yeah.
So should we be ruling rule of 2 on just about everything? Should we, 2 tubes, 2 bombs?
Not to.
2 tubes, 2 bombs. Rule of 2 everywhere.
rule of tube, if you will.
Rule of tube. I'll let you guys guess who thought of that. And it's not Mario. It's Chandler. Ben's not even on.
Without battlefield support cards, how would the game have turned out? Ask them that.
Okay, so if he had to take back one of his... Well, did you even use your other thumper?
No.
You never even used it.
If nobody had battlefield support cards, how would the game go?
If nobody had battlefield support, how would the game have turned out?
Tommy would
I
have
think
won.
very differently.
You would have scored the middle point.
Those kestrels coming off the board in the first turn made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I think Matt would have scored one objective point, but I think Tommy still would have gotten the win just because of his firepower.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Looking back at it, it wasn't even that the infantry were killed; is that he's able to blow the kestrels off the field.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Tommy would have shot at the kestrels first.
I would have shot the kestrels with my linebacker.
Right.
Yeah, they're TMM 4 and 1 for VTOL, right? Tommy had no flak.
But they were landed.
Yeah.
No, but they
They
were
had to
landed.
land,
so
though.
Oh,
don't
they
get-
landed.
So
Yeah.
they still had a TMM of 4.
Six
they would have
tends
been
to
a
hit
lot. Yeah.
on seven sets of dice though.
10s to hit instead of 2 7s to hit.
The one where your Ryokan was, I think that
Yeah.
would have been mine because I still.
Well,
And that would have been one of them, though, as opposed to
Who
both.
who wants
only
to chat
one of
while
them
we?
needs to take the thing back.
So you still have to ask the question though, right?
So who do you guys want to?
While he brought 3 twos, while he technically had more cards than he should have, he only played 2 tubes in the game. He did not use all of his artillery that he brought. So is that wasted? So he wasted points in battlefield support.
I get to play the victor.
If he would have played all 3, then I would say maybe there's a problem.
Illegalist.
Only because he told the judge.
Who doesn't want to play me? Let's.
He's not listening.
Wow,
Again.
who doesn't
Okay.
doesn't want to play
We'll
me?
do
The sheer cheek of it. Who doesn't want to
Aaron.
play me?
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Aaron.
Yeah,
So
that's me.
I would see though that you could possibly make the argument though that while he brought tubes he had battlefield support that didn't match, he still only used 2 tubes in the game.
That's a good question.
If he
So-
would have used all
No,
of them,
it's an
then
illegal
yes,
illegal
absolutely.
list. Period. Because he brought the 3. You know, I don't know. That's a good topic for you guys to discuss while we get everything set up for the next hold the line match.
Well, I would like to
Okay.
talk to Matt about it then.
Matt.
What would happen
Matt.
if you showed up with an illegal list, Andrew? If you even if you inadvertently didn't realize it.
And I will be forthcoming and very honest that for me, that is the hardest thing as a TO in doing tournaments is list validation. We just don't have a good way to do list validations. Like the last tournament we ran, had somebody that had celerities with 1, no command, and 2, drones aren't allowed. So having to nuke those out of a guy's list. Now we were just playing for fun, and I didn't really go back and do the modified wins and everything else again because we were doing it for fun. But that gets into that gets hairy, right? Technically, everyone's supposed to have turned in their lists beforehand so that I can go over them. That being said, too, that doesn't necessarily mean that the list somebody emails me is the list that they bring to the tournament. So, as players are playing, things are being felt out as well, and if something's brought to the attention, and we've had it happen at many different tournaments where, hey, this unit isn't an official unit, or this person has too many of something. And normally. We just, hey, you got to eliminate a unit from your army list and become legal, and then we go forward.
Become the legal.
Become legal, right? Because I mean, at the same time, we have rules and we have things that we need to follow. At the same time, if someone makes an honest mistake, I don't want to not allow that person to play. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. So
So go ahead.
let's so 7 BSP is what you have for the 200. Is that all you get in the 350?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, that would be something that would theoretically be caught in the list submittal.
Correct.
Theoretically. With all of the asterisks attached that you had just went over.
I don't have very good. We don't have people that do that well, right? I mean, the player packet for LVO has the WNRP at wolfdragoons.com. It says you need to have your list turned in beforehand. You know, we've gone round and round with the guys here a little bit too about how can we kind of like what Southern Assault does, right? If you turn your list in, you get some other points. Southern Assault has a lot of different points for getting things, which is a little confusing, but that's something that we've kicked around too. Of is if you do get your list turned in on time and it's been validated